report. Seeing none, I'm going to move on. Student body president Jorge.
Hello. So we had a meeting for VPDEI for the semifinalists. It was during that time that our internet went out, so we had some problems there, but all is well. We have, I believe, we have like 5 semifinalists left to still interview, and after that we'll be deducing to our finalists. Pretty good candidates so far. The manager position will be open next week on Tuesday. It'll be open for around a week. This is to replace Lane, as he will be graduating. The all-campus budget committee met today. They're working on retention numbers, and basically, so our deposits are up from last year, but the number of applications are down at this same time. So this is a little strange considering students have been deciding still later because of COVID. Since COVID is still around, they're weighing in their options and where they want to go. And many of them are athletes that are waiting to see if they want to come and play or what to do. Yeah, any questions?
Moving on to senior class president Elliot Meyer.
Hi everyone. We have no budget request this week. FAC was unable to meet. Almost everybody on our committee had something that was going on, so we'll be pushing those budgets back to next Wednesday. In addition, Constitution Revision Committee, I sent everybody that indicated they were interested in that a group me message. So I'm still waiting on some people to respond to that. We're probably going to try to meet between this week and next week, iron that out, and then get it to SGA for a vote. We need to have that done before the last meeting, because our Constitution says we cannot revise the meeting or the Constitution before the last meeting of any year. And that is my report.
Any questions or comments for Elliot? Seeing that, I'm going to move on to junior class, my report. Okay, first of all, happy Trans International Visibility Day. So I'm just going to read a little excerpt, just because you know I can, and I'm going to. So today celebrates the resilience and success of transgender and gender nonconforming people and raises awareness of transgender and gender nonconforming people and raises awareness of transgender rights around the world. The aim of today is to celebrate transgender people's contributions to society across the world while also raising awareness of discrimination faced by transgender people. And then also, guess who got a response from returns about a meeting time? I did. Whoa, so exciting. So we finally decided on a meeting time. We're going to be meeting on April 7th, so next Wednesday, and talking about the next steps. And for student leaders, keep an eye out in your email because I'll be sending a doodle poll out hopefully before the meeting, so I can kind of have like some dates ready to propose to him to kind of like forward some stuff. Hopefully it doesn't take as long as I'm prepared. So please respond to that email. I want to have a minimum of 2 trainings, like that's like the minimum. And then I'll have like a little, I'll tell them to like leave a note if none of the times work for them to have them reach out to me. And then for the people that don't have times working, I'll send out another doodle poll to see if I can get another session scheduled. So hopefully everyone gets that in. But that was all I had. Does anyone have any questions or comments for me? Fantastic. Seeing none, I'm going to move on to junior class president. No, first year class president. Okay. Sophomore class president. Frank, really sorry.
All I have to say is for student activities today, we're still organizing food trucks, a possibility. We are still also organizing organizations around campus and figuring that out. And then other than that, we're finalizing the results for student activities.
Any questions or comments for Frank? No? Okay, now moving on to the first year class president. Okay.
Mine is very similar to Frank's. On Student Activities Day, we're finalizing the schedule. We're making posters, so hopefully have those out next week. And we're going to have a campus map, like where the clubs are going to be placed available next week as well. So look out for that.
Any questions or comments for Will? No, okay. Moving on to The next item on the agenda, other reports. BPDEI, it's fine, kind of elaborating on what Jorge said. We have been meeting with some really good applicants. Interview troubles and some troubles with scheduling have caused us to reschedule some things. Time zones have become very difficult, understandably so. So yes, we should have someone in the position by June. So that is the expectation of Simpson, that was their deadline. So I'm hoping that we have someone ready to go by the end of May term. But more updates to come. Anybody have any questions? Okay, moving on to the next item, old business. There is none. New business. There is none. General discussion. Does anyone have anything for general discussion? No? Great. Announcements.
So they're planning to have an event. I don't have much info, but from 12:30 to 2, you guys will be receiving the campus an email from Dean Wool. Yeah, and then next week the manager position will be open on Tuesday. So please apply. It's like a work study, so you do get paid. And you just have to come to meetings and do some notes and stuff like that. And, yeah, and then also good job to Drake and David at the moderator. Good job.
Any questions for Jorge? Well, I have a question, and I'm not really supposed to ask questions in this role, but I think I have a question. So for the April 7th, so the students were planning to boycott that as a mental health day, and the college decided to put stuff out for them to do, and then also through the grapevine, I heard that faculty and staff is being expected to work this event with only a week's notice. So do you?
I think, and then we mentioned the canceling classes, but it's some accreditation thing that you need particular hours in order to fulfill the HLC requirements. So if we cancel more classes based on the fact that we messed up, or at least I think in having a longer spring break, we need to have your credit hours in order for you technically to be accredited by that class. It's the proper terminology, but maybe I'm my English.
Did David, did you have a question?
I kind of have a both question too.
Oh, okay, Elliot,
If
you
you
go
don't
first.
mind, I can go first. It's gonna be on the same topic, and then I'll get that back to you. I should have brought this up in general discussion, but since we're on the subject, I might as well interject. Yesterday, 3 days ago, at our residence life staff meeting, Luke told all of the CAs on campus that we will not be doing, or the college will not be giving that entire day off, just like what you just said, because of accreditation. So I was gonna add to that, but you said everything I was gonna say. So Luke confirmed that. I don't know how sturdy that is, but it sounded pretty sturdy. Well, it's not gonna change. That doesn't mean that students still couldn't go out and skip class. I mean, no professor's making you go to class unless it's part of your grade, but yeah, so that's still a possibility, I guess. Just the college will not be canceling classes, okay, unless we lose our accreditations.
Alrighty. David, did you have anything else?
No, he basically said everything.
Perfection. Announcement. There's another one, Elliot.
Yeah, I actually have an announcement. The Culver Center, Culver Public Policy Center is doing an event on April 6, 2021 at 7 o'clock. It's the future of the Republican Party. So if you can go out and listen to a speaker there, Guy Benson, on the future of the Republican Party, that's what he's going to be talking about. So it might be interesting. Go out there.
Any questions or comments for Elliot? No? All right. Any other announcements? Jordan.
Hello, we're in a pandemic, so please follow CDC guidelines, practice social distancing, wash your hands, use hand sanitizer, wear a mask, and if you can, get the COVID vaccine. think it's going to be more readily available. So please, if you qualify, get the shot now, and then once everyone's available to get the shot, get the shot. That's all.
And once again, related to what Jordan was going to say in reference to that, just a reminder, feel free to share that link that I shared last week, the Vaccine Hunter Iowa. As of this morning, I looked on there and there was something like maybe 20 locations within 100 miles that had vaccines available. I know sometimes people can't drive long distances to get those, but it's not unusual for one to show up in Des Moines. It's not unusual for one to show up here in Indianola. So as long as they check back frequently, they'll notice that it changes. And I know, like I saw someplace in Des Moines said for new vaccines for next week to check on Friday that they would make that available for that next classification of folks. So, but there are also some places that are opening up vaccines for people who are not even at in the late current classifications. They're opening it up for everybody right now because they have spare vaccines. So please keep that in mind too.
Period. Were there any other announcements?
There is a question on here, Tatum, from Cassie. Piscazzi, I'm sorry.
Piscazzi.
Go ahead, Piscazzi.
My bad. I forgot to ask this during Will's report, but is there like a time for Student Activities Day? I was like in a meeting with BSU and I was like, we need people to table this. And I was like, I don't even know what time it's at, so I can't tell you.
Yes, we're finalizing. It has been a very, very rough process working with the college to try and finalize stuff. Ideally, we would have got classes off that day, but as Jorge and Elliot talked about with the dean and stuff, it's unlikely that we're going to cancel classes. So I will send an email out to all the clubs, ideally by the end of this week, to finalize all that stuff. But we are planning on having it start, I think, around like 3 to 5 is the time, the tentative time, I would say.
Thank you.
Perfect. Sorry. Well, I guess I have an announcement. It's the last day of March. So to the ladies, or female identified people in the room, hope you had a good International Women's Month. Hope it was good. Hope you had a great time. Hope y'all felt very powerful. There wasn't any other reports, so I don't know what number that is. I can't read Roman numerals. But last item, 9 out of 9. Scott, did you have something?
I didn't get to say this last week because I had to leave early, but it's Passover, so say Hogs Mail to your Jewish friends.
Yeah. I forgot to say this earlier, but Tri Delta is planning a DEI panelist event with some of our faculty on campus for April 20th at 7 o'clock, and it'll be a Zoom event, so please mark your calendars. I'll put more information in the minutes.
Period. Put that on your calendars, you know? Okay, great. Yes, Scott, go ahead.
Run Chi Alpha is planning on doing a 24-hour charity live stream on April 10th. I think it starts at 5 p.m. All right. Yeah, 5 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay. Jordan, go ahead.
Well, today is March 31st. That means that tomorrow is April 1st. Really be careful what people say around you. That's all.
That's kind of frightening.
Yep. Okay. Are there any other announcements? Seeing none, item number 9 on the agenda, adjournment. So, with that being said, meeting adjourned, I think?
Yep.
Okay.